Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you in whatever time zone in the world that you may be listening to this podcast. So, if you are probably putting on an oversized hoodie, or you're plugging your earpiece listening to this episode, or you're probably sipping Zobo, I want to say thank you for tapping in and listening. Okay, and as our usual tradition would be, how you guys doing? Since the last time I popped in on you guys, I hope you've been enjoying the fatherhood of God. I hope you've been enjoying process. I hope you've been allowing God to be your father. Okay, so my name still remain Kelvin, the one by God's mercy, rather, the one by God's mercy has committed this work into his hands, and I do not take it lightly. And of course, I love you guys so much. I won't get tired of saying it. Thank you for popping in and again, time and again, rather. I really do appreciate it though. So before I move on, yes, I was supposed to release an episode last week, but I read the comment section. I read a comment from Kenny Gold from the comment section that what about the person you're going to bring? So the person I was going to bring disappointed me twice. Let me put it that way. The person I'm meant to bring disappointed me twice. But of course, it was going to be a lady. It was going to be a lady. But in order not to delay, in order not to just stay there, of course, the person will be coming in next week. Yes, by God's grace. But I decided to bring in a guy. So yeah, we're in the episode series, in the romantic episode series, and my idea, Kelly Gold, if you are listening, and I hope you're listening, my idea was to bring in a guy and a lady. So a lady will talk from a woman's perspective, their approach to love, and a guy will talk from a guy's perspective, their approach to love. And I can tell you in all sincerity that I do not know the answer they would give to any question I'll be answering, that I'll be asking them. I do not know whatsoever thing they'll be saying. So it's going to be some sort of interactive section. So Kelly Gold, hopefully by God's grace, in the next episode, the lady, of course, that I trust God to use would be coming in next week. But notwithstanding, I have with me someone, but whose name is Samuel. Yeah, let me put it that way. And let him just say hi before I go on saying whatever I have to say. So, sir, Mr. Samuel Oyeleke, I hope I get your name. I got your name correctly.
Yes, you did. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samuel Oyeleke. I'm a man with many names, but let me just drop those three for for time's sake. Yes, so thank you very much for having me on this podcast. And I pray that I'm able to answer your questions and make the viewers or listeners rather, interested to hear more from us as the days and years goes by. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah, for those of us that are non-Nigerian, Eshe means thank you. So, okay, we are recording this podcast as at 1:22 p.m. on Friday. So I don't know when I'll be releasing this stuff. But of course, it should come out before next week. So this is the afternoon we are recording this podcast now. So of course, we're in the relationship series. Of course, we are vibing and just chilling, just doing one or two things. So the purpose or the main point that we'll be going to in this episode is to look at men's approach to love, timing, their emotions, expectations, responsibility. How do men approach love? How do men look at relationship, romantic relationship in quotes or in general? But let me first start by asking you, Samuel. Let me start by asking you this question. What does love mean to men in this generation? And of course, what does love mean to you? Let's start with that one first before we move into other questions.
All right, Kelvin, thank you so much for that question. Well, permit me to say something. But a man, one out of probably 1 billion. in of the entire population of the world. We have over 8 billion people in the world, and of course women are more than men, but I cannot speak for every young person in this generation. I can only speak about what love to me. So if you're going to ask me that, oh Samuel, what does love look like to you as a man in this generation, I would simply say that love is the word is love is being there. So what do I mean by love is being there? I mean, love is when you are there. As little as that you are there, as little as it may sound, it's everything to me. Love is being there in the highs and the lows, in the great, in the small, in the good, in the bad, and that person that is just there, comforting you. Our presence is, just means a lot to you, and she's able to make you feel as though you don't have to worry about a thing. I mean, I've got you, I'm here, don't worry. I mean, even if you don't have much, you are sure that, I mean, for this person to be here, and it means a lot. And
Are you talking from experience?
I'm actually, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying things that are personal. I'm not saying things for another person. Love can be money. Love can be respect.
Right.
I feel for me, love is being there. Sincerely, that, and as little as it may sound, it's a lot. So yeah, so that is it.
A man of many hats. All right. So love for you just being there.
Yes.
Being there. Like just have this person that you call your person, right? Okay. Let me ask before, because I was going to ask, but should I ask or should I not ask this question? Because I asked it was from your personal experience, though. But of course, love is relative. Love, what love means, just like you said, what love means to A is not what love means to B.
Yes.
Now, there are so many things that have governed our upbringing or our expectation as men. For example, as a man, you need to get ready. By ready, not emotionally now, but financially. You get what I'm saying? So even if you are emotionally stable, even if you're mentally stable, even if you've got good morals, there are still some people that wouldn't, or some ladies that wouldn't want to be in a relationship with you because you're not financially ready.
Sure.
Okay? So, what do you have to say as regards to being financially ready as a man? And that is just by the side, because this conversation is quite lengthy, in the sense that when we've gone for seminars, when we're inviting people for seminars, church program church program, you hear women say that they got married to their man when he had practically nothing.
Yeah, true.
So now that is just by the side. Got married to their man when the man had nothing, probably was staying in a room apartment. He had not that he's lazy. Like this question, like what I'm saying is like going to be like 3 different 4 questions.
Yeah, I understand.
So the first one, what do you have to say about as regards a man being financially ready before he commits himself or asks a woman out? Secondly, what do you have to say as regards even to women? Because of course I think I would ask the lady that's coming our own perspective as regards this conversation too. Now, do you think women should, because in a way that should be a gamble. I don't know if it's a gamble, I don't know if you're saying it's a gamble. Because some will say, oh, I just knew he had a bright future. I just knew he was going somewhere. How can a woman, I think I need to ask a woman that question, because how can a woman tell a man that is going somewhere and is not lazy? Just answer it the way you understand the question.
Okay, now let me okay, as you were trying to ask the question, a lot of was playing in my mind. And what is that was playing in my mind? You spoke about finances as is it a prerequisite or is it a requirement or is it important for a man to be financially, stable before a woman comes in? That's like one of the first things you ask. Now, the truth of the matter is, as if you can, men, please be financially stable. Oh my goodness.
Why do you say so? Why do
Now, the reason why I said so is, I permit me to say this, and I want to speak in a general term right now. There is no woman on this planet that does not like money.
Yeah,
There is no woman on this planet that does not want a guy with money. See, let's not beat around the bush. The truth is, a woman, especially Gen Z women. Okay, let me give you a scenario. A Gen Z woman is the kind of woman that you take out to a restaurant and she's making a video of what you bought with your money.
They're different. Not all women do. Not all Gen Z.
Hold on, of course, not all, but most. Hold on, don't worry, hold on. Now she's making a video of what you bought, say the pastas, the seafoods and everything. Do you know that if it's in two categories? A category, I'll do category A and category B. Now, the A category would say, "Oh, guys, meet my man. This is the person behind my smiles, behind my..." And the reason why she would show your face is because you are not just because you have money, but because you are looking 100% over nothing.
Okay.
Now, unless you are a billionaire, like a billionaire or a celebrity, that is when a woman will not mind whether you are beautiful or you are handsome or whatever. But let's say you're just a regular guy and then you have money but you know fine. See, it is 40% of women that will show your face. This is to let you understand the financial implications, and not be just anyhow man fit carry babe go restaurant go buy seafood. Permit me for the pigeon. It's not just any person, because you have to be satisfied. You have to have a particular amount of money yourself before you are able to take another woman out, that, "Oh, let's go out, babe, let's do this and let's do that." So finances is an integral part of a relationship. It is not a part that should be toyed with as a man, because she can like you today, like say, "Oh, let's build," and then after a while, somebody somewhere, maybe where she's working, that even her parents, her friends will be hinting at that, "Are you sure that this guy..." If not that she has a very strong conviction that the Lord revealed you to her, the same way Gabriel came to tell Joseph that, "Don't worry, Mary is not, she's the Holy Ghost that gave," and is sure, guy, she go leave you. So the other question that you asked about, remind me please.
Gamble.
Okay, yeah, the gamble part. Yes, about how women are they sure and all that. See, the truth is nobody's sure of anything in this life. See,
Are you saying that those people are, would I say, lying, or what? Like, okay, what is your own thoughts on it?
See, my own thought on it is that, let me use myself as an example. So basically, when I started dating the person I am presently with, my babe, my babe is somebody that I met at a very, okay, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but okay, I was working somewhere. I was working in an organization and I resigned from that organization, and I was doing what I know how to do best, what I am doing presently. I don't want to start advertising on your podcast, so let me not talk about what I do. So I was doing what I was doing presently, and it was still a very low level, and I was not as where I am right now. And this was when I met her, and she was this kind of person that she's not the flamboyant type of person that, "Oh, this guy, this guy is not flamboyant and all that." And yes, of course, even from the church perspective, from my personal perspective, I was in a way already I wouldn't say made, but I was heading towards, like, it was a sure banker that this guy is just time he needs with everything he has going on. See, there's difference between.
Were you sorry? Were you the one that was sure, or she was the one that was sure? And if I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now, because as a guy, that one's like we understand ourselves. But how were you sure that she was sure? I don't even know the right words to even frame the English now. Like, how were you even sure that she was sure she wasn't doing a gamble, or maybe she was gambling?
I would say she was gambling, actually. Yes, I would say she was gambling because, women are emotional creatures, and there are people that, some women are moved by their emotions. Some women are, they are the kind of people that once people start talking about things, take for example, maybe your friends, they start talking about this particular thing, that, oh, and then a woman is a kind of creature that, oh, especially people that have friends, besties, women with besties, hey, my bestie, and they like to do things in a way that everybody has this, me too, I have it. And so in a way she was gambling. And what I mean by in a way she was gambling is because, yes, I was already doing what I am doing. Whether I will now be a millionaire was something that I would say she was gambling on, because the truth is I didn't come from a very rich home. In fact, when we started dating, there were days that she would come to my place and it was Gary I was drinking. So for a woman that knows that this guy that is drinking Gary like this, that are you sure that this? But aside the Gary, aside that, coming to me personally, there were a lot of things that I am. So knowing that it's only those that come to my house that knows I'm drinking Gary. But when we get out there and I am leading the packs, even without money, but based on intellect, based on leadership skills, based on what you have and what you can produce, results. And your baby is just like a footballer.
I think I get that perspective.
You get that perspective. It's just like a footballer that, you see your baby is like a spectator, one of the spectators, and you scored a goal. She's like, that's my man. And do you understand? So as you are like, you are doing things outside, and then everybody's like, wow, this guy, that guy. You don't have money, but you have results. And a man with results, positive results, is just time he needs. Because in the wealth hierarchy, money, hard currency is the least. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that is it for me.
Okay, this is getting pretty much interesting. One thing before I move to the next question. So, my audience, I want you to know that we are currently in an open space, right? So, of course, you'll be hearing noise coming into the recording, but just pardon me. So, but this is an interesting conversation, and there was one thing that he made mention of. Before I move on, he's actually a businessman. I don't know if he made mention of that when he was introducing himself. He's actually a businessman. Like, he would say, the skill set is different from the business of the skill. You get what I'm saying? But let's move on somewhere. This is one part that actually got me thinking. Now, when I started this podcast, and I was talking about timing and decision making, one point I started with was how culture, the society, family influence our decision making, which in turn influence timing. Okay, and that also leads to even in a relationship. Okay, and as a man, let me break it down. The society expect that at a certain age you should get something doing for yourself. Like when you're 20, you should have finished school. 22, done your masters. 25, be working. 26, have something doing like a woman or whatever. 28, you should be married. 30, if you're not married at 28, at least 30 you should be married. Get what I'm saying? Based on timelines that have been set by society, family, and culture. And even if these things are not in place, it seems as though something is wrong with you. Now, how do you undo pressure as a man in terms of, let's say for example, settling down? Because we're talking about romantic relationship, for example. And I want to believe, I may be wrong, right, that you may be having conversation with probably your family or probably your babe, and once in a while they'll be digesting marriage. So as a man, how do you handle pressure, especially the pressure of settling down in marriage or settling down to get married? Yeah. Well, guys, English is not my thing. I'm just getting an hang of it. But get the question. You get my question right.
Yes. So the pressure of getting married based on societal pressure expectations.
Societal expectations,
Okay.
culture, family. Yeah.
For me, the truth is, pressure is an external thing. It is not. It is when you allow it to be an internal thing, that is you pressurizing yourself, that it becomes a thing. Because even in the Western world, people get married at 40, at 45, and nobody's pressuring nobody for anything. And the truth is because of this part of the world that we are in. I mean, take for example somebody in UK, and then doing a thing or doing his thing, and then is trying to just put things together, and then nobody's even, I mean, your neighbors don't even know if you are home because everybody is busy with their lives. It is movies that makes us think people in UK or people in America are just at home, playing FIFA or sleeping and eating. The truth is that part of the world is a very serious deal. When they say they open 8, that part of the world they actually open 8. It's not in Nigeria here that before people even come out for work, people are in this part of Nigeria, of course. I mean, in Lagos it's not like that. I mean, in other part of Nigeria it's not like that. But in this part of Nigeria, I mean, 9, 10, 12 people are just coming to work, and what have they been doing at home since? So pressure is anything that you allow get to you. So for me personally, how do I handle pressure? The truth is, you have that hint here and there, people telling you, especially when you post a picture, they're like, when will you get married, let's come and eat rice. I mean, it's cook rice. I can even send you money, guy, just cook rice, eat. Pressure is, don't allow anybody pressure you. That is for me. Yes, the pressure that I have is what I give myself. That, oh guy, I mean, get married now, see your friend getting married. I have a guy that got married, and I'm like, guy, this guy, how did you get married? Out of every one of us, I'm the one that should get married. But then pressure is anything you allow to yourself. So for me, there is no pressure anywhere. There is zero pressure. So how do I manage family pressure? I'm the last child. So my parents have enjoyed marriage. Firstborn has married, 4 kids. Secondborn married, 4 kids. Thirdborn married. Fourthborn married. So everybody's married except me. So nobody's pressuring me to get married. Not because I'm not old enough to get married. I'm well old enough to get married, but there is no pressure for me. So anybody listening to this, how you handle pressure is what you term pressure. If you have not gotten your life figured out, don't let anybody Pampers, go and price Pampers and know what's up. But if you pressure yourself, the people that are pressuring you will not send you 5k. So please, thank you very much for that question. That is my own perspective about it.
Okay, just like I've said before, like this, the answer is given. I don't know the answer. Like you get, like I don't even know what to say right now, but of course, it's just leaving the nail on the head. Like even in a way, emphasizing what I've said in previous episode. Okay, now let me leave his own personal life. Maybe I'll go back to it later on. But let us go back to Christians and Christianity as a whole. And one thing that causes transformation is being under consistent teaching. Right? Like you are under consistent teaching back to back. That's what causes transformation. Yes. But we have realized that, of course, marriage doesn't change in quotes who you are before you get married. It's obviously who you are after you've gotten married. Just like you just take constant effort to change, right? Now, what I have to say as regards men, because I'm talking about women, and probably in a time where would have a man and a woman sit together and have this conversation. So, what do you have to say as regards men? Because you realize that there are men that, if you ask, what are your requirements for a woman, one of the things that you would hear them say is, I want a woman who is submissive. You get the gist. And we've also this was only another question, but in a way I've also realized, that is one, that when we are having marriage seminars in quotes, I may be wrong, but sometimes or many a times the focus is always on women. So as for a man, if you are providing for the house, you are good to go, right? Yeah. And probably some will just interject and put in a little bit of romance and say, okay, oh, need to be romantic to your wife, do this, help your wife, and that's all. And majority of the information is towards women. But for men now, you hear something like, why are men particular about being submissive? That should be the first question. Why are men so particular about being submissive? And some would argue that submissiveness is something that comes natural to women, especially if they like you. And if a woman is not submissive, something is wrong somewhere. Let's assume what is being equal. She's not stubborn. I don't even know what I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying. So, what's your understanding of this view based from the Christian standard and also its application to life?
Okay, so what do I think about women being submissive?
Men actually saying their women have to be submissive.
Okay, men actually saying their women have to be submissive. Now, I don't know. Do men actually say their women should be submissive?
I've probably heard it from popular people.
Okay. So, love for men is respect. I think it's like a general thing. When you respect your man, when you do not, when you're not masculine with your man.
Please, for those of us that don't know what masculinity means, what is
it means when you are trying to be the man of the relationship and you've left your gate, your role as a woman. Now, from the Christian perspective, Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25 says, husband, love your wife as Christ loves the church and gave himself up for her. Now, what does that mean? It's an hierarchy. Christ is at the topmost, the leadership, and the husband follows then the wife. Now, this hierarchy, it's not making one greater than the other. Yes, Christ is above all, seated in a place that nobody can, tussle with. Nobody can change that position. Now, between a man and a woman, the reason why a man will say that, oh, I want my babe or I want my wife to be submissive is because we live in a generation where it's becoming a norm. This whole, there's this feminist movement of saying things like, a man and a woman, they are the same thing. There is no gender equality. Yes, that's what they call it. They call it gender equality. Am I saying that a man is greater than a woman? No. Am I saying a woman is greater than a man? No. But there is an hierarchy. And if that hierarchy is followed, and the same way our mothers, what kept their marriage?
Where you are going to?
Because
what? No, I'm sorry. Where you are going to? Let me quickly interject. Or should I let you talk? Because you can add it to whatever you're saying. Where you are going to, some would argue that what kept their marriage was endurance and not necessarily love, because many of them were not as exposed as many of us are now. And many of us, you get what I'm saying, that many of that they've seen, like in a way, it seems as though many men were abusive towards their wives. Many men of our fathers were abusive towards our mothers. That if there were many at times, if they were exposed as we are exposed now, many of them would not have been in the marriage. Some would argue that. So just add it to whatever you're trying to say. I will not interrupt you now.
Okay. So what kept your dad and mom's marriage is endurance for some people. Now the truth of the matter is, what is endurance? Is it what does the Bible mean when it says the fruit of the spirit, love, joy, peace, long suffering? Long suffering, what is long suffering? To suffer long.
Exactly.
To stay in a place despite what?
Of fault, I want to believe, or challenges or situations.
Challenges and situations to keep. The truth is, many of us would have not have the life we had if our mom and dad have separated. If it was truly endurance. The endurance you did not endure when both of them saw each other, proposed to each other, loved each other. Nobody was. See, the situations in life would make it look as though the the marriage is not working, especially when finances are not being is not made available. I'm not talking about polygamy now. That one is endurance. I'm not talking about a man that married one, two, three, four, five, and then the third wife has to stay because of her children or all that drama. I'm talking about a man and a wife. So if you are from a polygamous family, I mean, this what I'm saying does not apply to you. Yes, your mom might have stayed due to endurance, but I'm talking about a man and a wife. This that I'm talking about might not apply to all cases. Yes, there might be cases of domestic violence whereby the daddy is beating the mommy black and blue every day, and then the children are looking at it that mom, leave this, whatever, and then she's like, I can't leave because of you guys, it will mess up your life. And then we can say, oh yeah, she endured.
And some will say, what would the society say?
Oh, yes, and some people will be like, what would the society say? Don't see whatever it is that you do in your life, don't be like, what would the society say? My own perspective about marriage is, what does the scripture say? Because there are times that you won't love your wife. So when you say endurance, you have to know what you are saying. Do you think it's every day you wake up to see bed of flowers and roses? And there are days that if we look at you and say, woman, that baby will leave his mouth, that honey will not be there. It's like, woman, and then you're like, hey, woman, hey, and then you go and cry, hey, I didn't know this was how it's going to be. You are showing your true color. So when he was being nice and buying flowers and you were eating shawarma, that was not his true color. So we are flesh. Because the truth is, why is it only the woman that is enduring? Who told you men are not also enduring, if we want to use the word endurance? Because if you look intricately into some marriages, you will discover that it is his wife that is the problem.
Another accusation.
Oh my goodness.
Another accusation.
You would discover that the wife is the I don't want to use a very bad word because of people that is the problem. And of course, men are usually more at fault than women. Of course, definitely. So it is important that we understand that I want a submissive wife because that is what love is to me. I want a woman that respects me. I'm not saying she should respect me out of serving me on her knees or calling me my lord. Would you bath? No, she's not a slave. But submissiveness is just how we are wired. When the scripture says, wives, submit, and it is the role of the husband to love, it is the role of the woman to submit. It's clear as day.
But those when men are not emphasizing on it, like some would argue, because now this is based on facts. I'm not saying it based on I am thinking of something from my head.
Mm-hmm.
Now some would argue that when many times when men says this thing that submit, it means that they are misogyn. How do you pronounce the word? Is it misogony or I can't remember?
Misogony?
Yeah, I think that is who they are. But you to be emphasizing on that part, you must be submissive.
Now, what is submissiveness in their language? What does it mean to them? Are they talking about how she talks to them? Because, see, this thing, as we are talking about it, is bringing me to where I'm coming from in my relationship. You see, relationships have levels. And before a man and woman would marry, that is why courtship is important. One of the major reasons why a lot of marriages crumble in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, I feel they did not. Religion has made us blind, and it has made us the Christian home of this generation is far worse, even with all our Greek and Hebrew words and a lot of rema that we are dishing out, especially tongue-speaking Christians. See, the truth is, Instagram will give you the glamour. We are wearing matching pajamas. It's Christmas, and everybody's and off camera. It's war zone. It is because we've lied to each other. I was reading of something online, and then I discovered that. Okay, let me say this. I know that the people listening to this are matured people. Now, the man and the woman during courtship, they were dating, and after the whole courtship thing, marital counseling. They got married, and on the night of the wedding, yeah, everybody was excited, and more finally, I get to unveil the wrap, and as men now, you know how excited we'll be. And during the process of this thing, during the process of starting, they discovered that she could not bear the pain of the whole thing. I think you saw that thing online. You didn't see it. She could not bear the pain of the whole thing, and then there was blood everywhere, like it was so bad. And they went to the hospital and they came back, and the fear to try again, months. So the man was not like, he loved his wife. What should he do? And I was reading all that thing, and I'm like, look at this perspective again. Am I saying that men and women in relationship are go check and see if, no, I'm not saying that. But there are a lot of things that in that case, look at what is happening in that case. They might have a lot of things going on for them. On Instagram, they are posting pictures and nobody knows what is going on behind the scene. So saying that, respect, she must be submissive, and she must, everybody has what respect is in their own word. It's not necessarily, like I said, she must serve me, she must do this, she must, kneel down, she must call me Lord. When I started my relationship, and then we had a lot of issues in the beginning, and I'm not going to say that, I'm ashamed to say that. Of course, if you have a perfect relationship and you guys don't have issues, congratulations to you. Me, I have issues. I had issues because we are coming from different backgrounds, and then we have different understanding of different things. And this submissiveness thing, there are times that we like, I feel like you don't respect me. And she's like, what does respect means? And I'm like, yeah. And then we, the whole thing. And it took a while for us to understand each other to that point. So right now, there are some things that she would never do or she would never say to me. I'm not saying that she would never say to me. I'm talking about, for men, some of us, we don't like, we carry words very powerfully because we understand how words are. There are some women that don't understand words.
I mean, how they receive words.
What I mean is negative and positive energy of words.
Okay.
How you can use some kind of words. There are some words that I would never use. Let's say words like maybe when you say somebody is mad. Do you understand that word? Are you mad? Like that? Are you mad? Is
I think both parties.
Both parties, but there's some. I'm not saying that like that is what she said though.
No, I'm just
like I'm just letting you know that for me, words are very important. So when some certain kind of words are being said around me, I feel like, guy, don't do that. I mean, I don't like that word. And then it causes a lot of things. And then I try to explain that, guy, this is the kind of person that I am. I don't like using this kind of words, especially when, yes, we are joking, but let's understand the kind of words that we would say even in our, even in the play area, because it builds up energy for me because of the kind of person that I am. So for me, I believe strongly that respect for a man is 100%. But as a woman, understand what it means by respect. Because what you understand by respect might not be what he is translating respect to be. So I hope I've made sense with a lot of things that I've said.
I want to believe that many people would have questions. I'm not making any comments. I'm obviously not making any comment, but I want to believe that many people would have one or two things to say. And of course, if you are listening to it, I would really love for you to just put something in the comment section. Right. And this is far more interesting than I thought it would be.
I guess.
And interactive. But okay. Another question I would have or want to say, and yeah, just came to me now. I'm so sure that the lady I'll be bringing on next week will bring the eats. Let me put it that way. She will bring from my own perspective. I know women, and if you're a lady listening to this episode, and of course I know you would have so many things to say, right? And I hope and I trust God that the person I will bring in next week will also speak well. Yeah, speak and what's the right phrase to use? Like bring you guys perspective, yeah, to being. You get what I'm saying? So of course, moving on. Our focus is men are pushed to love or to romantic relationship, love, timing, expectation, responsibility. Now, when do you feel is the right time for a man to be in a relationship? What is the right timing? Okay, and yeah, that is one. And secondly, what I'm saying, yeah, that is one. And what expectations the men have, men of your generation. And here, I was forgetting something. When you were talking previously, you made mention of you Gen Z. I was like, I don't know if you remember the statement you made. Yeah, it said you Gen Z, like so you excluded yourself from Gen Zs. So that means you're not a Gen Z, you're a millennial. Okay, that fine. So what is men in your generation expectation to love, and what's the right timing? When should a man be in a romantic relationship? Let's start with that. That's timing. So when should a man be in a relationship, and what is men expectation when it comes to a romantic relationship? I'm asking because I want to believe that, of course, psychologically, men and women are different. So I want a woman to understand a man rather psychology based on, of course, they might not get a holistic view of it, but what do you think? Do I think, or what do you know? Yeah, based on men expectations, so a woman can at least prep themselves when it comes to relationship.
All right, thank you very much. Now, to all the ladies out there, I want to say something. And what do I want to say? See, men, in a way, we are alike, and that's the truth. The same way women, in a way, they are alike. You just discover that the things that your woman is doing to you is the same thing another woman is doing to her man. You're like, yeah, these guys, did they plan this thing? And then you discover that it's because of our nature. We are not far from one another. Of course, we are in a way from the same root. Okay, so when should a man be ready for a relationship?
Yeah, timing.
Timing. Okay, let me answer that first. The truth is, as a man, you know, the old trending thing right now in this time and period is when you are mixed friends and you're like, oh, you don't have a relationship, and then people like make it look as it's weird if you don't have a relationship.
Very well, the only person in the midst of guys that are in a relationship.
But the truth is, and is, I mean, down to secondary school, I mean, down to primary school, we promote these things if in our days, and then we make it look as though it's been cool and it's been nice when you see a primary school student of primary 5 and primary, yeah, the same class, and both of them are coming home and you're like, oh, that's your baby, and all of them, everybody's laughing about it as though it's a normal thing, which is not. It's any seed or any harvest we are reaping now is as a result of what has been sown in the past, and it is as a result of what we have made known. And that is why you see secondary school girls, secondary school boys being in a relationship, and then you are like, why are you in a relationship? I mean, I love him, we are going to get married. It is 1 out of 100, guy. See, even if you are in 100 level and then you met the guy, he's all cool, he's all that, the truth is the reality would dawn, and then you will discover that, oh, I mean, we are not meant for each other. Because do you know why I laugh? Okay, secondary school boy and girl that are in a relationship and they claim that yes, they love each other, and by the time they're in the university and they have sense, they went to do genotype test and they discovered that
secondary school.
No, from secondary school they've been in a relationship.
Oh, okay.
And they've entered university now, planning that, oh, when we are out, maybe we told you guys we're going to get married. And now they went to do genotype test and they discovered that they're both AS. So, okay, oh yeah, now marry now, let's see now. Because the truth is, it's a facade, it's a lie. Everything, see, there are times that love is a lie.
Okay.
Yes. It's a lie. You think that you will not. Have you ever been in a relationship and then after you broke up, you discover that wait, when I was in this relationship, I felt I would die if this person we are not together. But yeah, I am grateful that I left. It's the truth. Oh, I love him. I would never. It's a lie. Most times. You see some people online, you are so happy with them, almost see these people, they are married, their wedding is top notch, and after 6 months they have divorced. So what happened? It's because there are times that we awaken love when it's not yet time.
For both parties.
For both parties.
Yeah, for a man, when do you think is the right time for a man to be in a romantic relationship?
For me, I feel like when a man should be in a relationship should be when, to an extent, that is why mentorship is important. Mentorship is important and being accountable is important. Everything boils down to what kind of life are you leading? What kind of people did you surround yourself with? Because anything I say will still be based on me. I can't speak for you. I can't tell you when you should be in a relationship. And it's the truth. Because what the challenges that the heads up that you have in life is not what I might have. Some people can come from privilege and then they've even betrayed them. If you go to Kano now, those people, they've betrayed them. Even Christian homes, that father will have betrayed his daughter to the friend, and when they are both maybe 22, this one is done from one private university maybe in London, another person is done from one private university maybe in New York, and they are coming together and they are getting married. And that person might be listening to this podcast. And then maybe he's 22. And me, I'm saying that, if you're not up to 25, don't get married. And he's like, are you serious? Are you saying? These are part of the things that religion has done to us. See, the truth is, are you ready mentally? Are you ready? Have you come to that point in life where you see that, or when you've discovered that, okay, marriage is the next thing for me? If marriage is not the next thing for you, age is a number. Somebody at 22 can be ready, and somebody at 30 is not ready. So if I say, okay, at this particular age, 25 to 28, you should have gotten married so that by the time you are 40, your children are ready. It's a lie. All those things that we tell ourselves, it's a lie. Get married early so that by the time you are 40, your children will no longer. It's a former mentality. See, it's the truth. We tell each other that, get married on time so that you won't be working when your children is. Come on. There are some people that get married at 40 and they give birth and their children will never worry about one penny in their life. They won't even have to work. But it's because of where we are coming from. We feel like, let's get married on time so that we can have kids, so that by the time we are still working, we have strength to, sponsor them to university. And by the time we are old, we expect our children to now start feeding us. Do you understand? So a man should get married when he's discovered that he is ready. And how do you know you are ready? You know you are ready when you have put a lot of things in place. Yes. In reality, don't marry a man that does not have a job. A man should not think about marriage when he does not have a job.
What if he lost his job?
What if he lost his job? Right. If he lost his job, he should get another one. He should get another one, though. See, the truth is, let's not lie to ourselves, because you want her to come and suffer. You love her, but you want her to suffer. She's getting old. And used to fast now, go and look for work and so that you guys can marry. But don't marry a woman and think she'll be the one taking care of the house. Yes, you guys are married, you lost your job, okay, it's cool. After 2 months, you get another one. But you are not married yet. Because even in counseling, they will ask you, what do you do? When you go and meet her father and her mother, they will ask you, what do you do? And she won't even be able to tell her friends about you. Because her friends will be like, hey, what does he do? And then she'll be like, hey, he does not have a job. No woman wants to tell her friend that my man does not have a job. Every woman wants to be in Range Rover and be taking snaps and be posting it on Instagram. That is the kind of world we find ourselves.
Your own belief. Right.
My own belief. Right. But you see, unless we are lying to ourselves, yes, we can be like, tongue-speaking sisters and tongue-speaking brothers. We always want to be in the mountain and you don't want to ever come. It's a lie.
Okay. Because not everyone is social, but it's okay.
Not everyone is social. Not everyone wants to post on Instagram. Not everybody. But everybody wants a sense of security.
Right.
Yes, there are some people that don't want a loud life. They don't want even you to know that they have money, but they want to have that money. They don't want you to know that they have the money, but they want the money. They want to live, they want to have the vacation when they want it, they want to have that meal when they want it, they want to go out when they want it. So a man should take it upon himself to understand that before I bring a woman to wife, my hands should be what? Should be actively doing something. Even scripturally, it is very important that a man is what? Bears his yoke in his youth. It's not that it's very, even scripture says that a man that does not work should not eat. And when you are not eating, how do you want to feed another person? So for me personally, men and women listening to this podcast, as a man, you've lost your job, please find another one before you propose to her. Okay, let's even forget socials now. Let's forget anybody that you don't want to post. There's nothing like Instagram, there's nothing like TikTok. You just want to live your life for yourself. You want to live your life for yourself, but you would have children coming into the world. What do you want to feed them with? Do you want them to go through the same things that we went through? So a man should get married when he is, I'm not talking about being Elon Musk. I'm talking about having a job. I'm not talking about having 2 million naira salary. I'm talking about having something that bring passive income, and then you guys are able to build from there. So thank you very much.
No, you've not answered the expectation.
So expectation of who?
Men, when it comes to relationship, romantic relationship, what do men expect
from a woman?
Yeah, kind of. What do men expect in general? What do you think is their expectation when approaching a relationship? Does it have to be like, oh, I have to be ready? Or, I mean, from the woman's perspective, she has to be this, she has to be that. Like, generally, what are men's expectations when it comes to relationship?
I still don't get that question, sincerely.
How do I break it down?
Please break it down.
Now, there are various expectations, right? Okay. Like what you expect. Mm-hmm. I'm going to a relationship. This is what I expect from a woman I want to be in a relationship with.
Okay.
That's one.
Okay, let me take it from there. So, okay, you want to go into a relationship and you're expecting that, okay, I'm looking for a woman that will come to my house and cook my meals, wash my clothes, and then like we'll build from there and let me see how it goes, Abby. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Now, expectations. You've not married her, so I don't think you should have a lot of expectations. Because we have that, while I was serving in school, I used to be the president of a fellowship, a RCF fellowship. And in my school, it happens to be that as a papa, it is the mama that should wash your clothes.
For those for non-Nigerians that don't know what papa and mama is, people, please break it down. Break it down.
So it means that you're the president. You're like the father of the whole house. So my fellowship, we have over 300 students attending, and over 300, more than 300. I mean, in another, we have like 2 fellowship buildings, one in the permanent site. That's like a 1,000 capacity hall, but we've not moved there. So where we are is like the temporary place. So because of the distance between that place, so we normally have like 300 plus students. So I'm like the president of that number. Was the president then of that number. I'm talking 2018. Yeah, 2018, thereabout 2019. 2018, yes. So at that time, my mama is supposed to be, that's like the vice president, no, the sisters coordinator. Yes, not my vice president. The sisters coordinator is a mama. That's what we call them. And we live together. We have what is called a secretariat.
Yeah.
I have my room. She and the welfare coordinator stays in another room. Then we have the brothers general room. Yeah. The brother coordinator does not stay there. It's just me, the mama, and the welfare. So I'm still like the father of the home there. So basically, one thing that I would say I enjoyed then was I never entered the kitchen. Thinking about it now is so amazing. Not like I don't enter the kitchen. I enter the kitchen to like say, oh, what's going on here? But permit me to say this. I'm sorry, sisters. I know some of you might have contrary opinions on what I'm about to say. So I'm like in my room. My food is being brought to me in this special plate. Nobody else uses that bowl. Thinking about it now is crazy. I mean, the kind of world we live in now, if you tell people things like that, they'll be like, that's slavery. But that was like the structure of the fellowship. And I get to eat. But one thing that I did not allow them do is wash my clothes. Because as the president, they're supposed to wash your clothes too. You are the president now, so you are the one that would handle the whole fellowship. So think about the fellowship. Let us handle your personal affairs. But I never allowed that because I feel, why would anybody watch? It's other presidents, of course, some of them allowed it, but I never allowed that. Now, why did I bring that up? I brought that up because of what you said about expectations. Now, expectations. If a man is going to come into a relationship and his expectations, that for me personally, I feel expectation should not be anything beyond getting to know one another. Let me understand who I'm getting involved with. Let me understand our heritage. Let me understand what makes her tick, what makes her talk. Let me expect what is she bringing to the table. Those are like expectations, because every man, for me, let me not even say every man, a man like me, I want a woman that is let me see, how does she fit into my affairs. Is she somebody that I know that when I'm doing A, she's doing A? Is this somebody that I know that, it's in courtship or relationship that you know these things. It's not in marriage that, let's see how it goes, let's enter marriage and then we'll see. No, expectations start from the courtship. So you start seeing her, you start observing her, you're expecting her to do some things. You start expecting her to call you at a particular time. And
now, even now, this will lead to another question, because I was listening to you talk and I was thinking, right? Now, of course, each and every one of us is shaped by our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Not just society. Society has a role to play. Culture also has a role to play.
True.
Now, and you have given us a good examples of expectation. I've just been thinking that I was signing it. The question is, how do we now differentiate a godly expectation, the one that stem up from our relationship with Christ, and expectation that stem up from culture and society? As a man, like how do you have a balanced approach, a balanced?
Okay, let me say this now. Society expects that you guys are in a relationship now. I mean, it's normal that she sleeps over in your house. It's normal that she cooks for you. It's normal that, I'm not saying that even a brother and a sister that are in a relationship, I'm talking Christian brothers now, I'm not saying that she cannot prepare something and bring for you like once a while. I'm not saying every time, or I'm not saying that she should come and be spending weekend in your house and be cooking egusi and semo and all that. So, but what I'm saying is there are societal expectations that is a normal thing. I mean, society expects it's a normal thing. These guys are in a relationship, so I mean, it's normal that even in some culture, when you are in a relationship and you've introduced that lady to your family members, if there is an event in your family, they will expect her to come and perform wifely roles when even you have not married her. Yes. Your wife is not coming. This is December now. Who will now let her come and help in the kitchen now? And like, I've not married her, and like but you've introduced her now. She's gegere to enter. What I mean by that is she's almost coming into the marriage. So I mean, why is she not coming? So people will expect that, let her come and do things, let her come and wash plates, and then of course our women now, they will even be telling you that I cannot come and wash plates in your family house, all those drama. Our mothers did it, but I'm not doing it. If we have an event, we'll call caterer. I'm not going to be coming to your family house. Come on, and then they will tell you that is their own expectations, of course. But as a believer, expectations should be Christ standard expectations. And what is Christ standard expectations? In prayer, in fervency, in faith, in fellowship, in fasting. I mean, these are the things that you build in courtship. We have it. I'm expecting that, when I'm in a relationship with her, we are going to have this whole fasting thing probably twice in a week or twice in a month, and all this going on and like that. Okay, take for example for me and my babe. Now, let me say my babe. We go to camp. That's a redemption camp. We go to camp every now and then. I think last year we went to camp like 6-7 times. Like, we're always going, this month we'll go, next month we'll not go. That's like one of the things that we intentionally built from start. to, to understand that, okay, these are the things that we would do. So even when we get married, when I say, babe, let's go to camp, or she tells me, babe, let's go to camp, I'm not like, when did we start this one? It's not new. And how you make it not new is what you build from now. Yes, when you get into marriage, there are new things that will come out, because a woman, you can't know her finish. A man, you can't know him finish. Permit me to use that word. So of course there will be new expectations that would develop in marriage. When kids start coming in, there will be expectations of waking up in the midnight. When whatever start coming, there will be expectations. When the storms of life start coming, when she's pregnant, when she's craving, when she's in her hormonal period, there will be expectations for you as a man. When she's saying yes and what she actually means is no. See, women, oh Jesus.
I thought that only happens before relationship.
God.
I mean, yeah, when you're acting out, yeah.
A woman is saying yes, and what she's actually meaning is no. Leave it, don't worry. And she's in her mind, she's saying, you don't carry it. But you told me to leave it. Are you kidding? I'm not saying leave it. I mean, do it without me asking you. And when she says that, you didn't tell me that I love you, and you say, oh, I love you. Yeah, why did you say I love you? But you told me to just I love you. Must I now tell you to tell me that I love you before you tell me you love me? What do you want? So there are a lot of expectations, and I feel we should examine ourselves and make sure that any expectations that we may be having should be something that is Christ-like, and something that is not necessarily something that the society will accept, but something that is, as Christians, as believers, that is our to fear God and keep His commandments. It should be something within that jurisdiction, something that is not beyond what God would want us to do. So that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. You've done justice to this episode, right? And this is actually this is the first time ever I'm going over an hour. Maybe because I'm not the one talking. So that's maybe because I'm not the one talking. So let's just bring this to a close with this last question. And this is the last question. I'm not asking any other question again. So let's just get it to close. Let's just close this episode. And of the truth, I want to believe that each and every one of us will enjoy this episode. Of course, I know we have comments. I know we'd have one or two things to say. But this is by far, for me, the most interesting episode ever. And yes, I want to believe that the guests coming in next that we're speaking, that will be coming from the angle of women approach to love, will take the roof much more higher. So yeah. So Samuel, last question. Yeah, and last question. I wouldn't ask more than this question, but the response you give will determine if another question would come up. So yeah, when it comes to relationship, should men be vulnerable? That question is deep, because if you are probably going online, if you are probably social media savvy, you hear women say something like men should cry in a relationship. And can men be vulnerable without crying? And what does vulnerability mean to men, from your own opinion? She gets, and these are several questions. And lastly, to just add it, as I know I said one question that has led to 3 different questions. And how should women handle the vulnerability of their man? Also put into consideration that, if we are being honest, vulnerability is not our thing. You get, we are not easily vulnerable. We can be vulnerable to our guys, to our G's, but to women, even though that we call our woman, it takes quite a while for us to be vulnerable. It gets to my own question. Yeah, that is it basically.
All right, now first let me answer the last question. Now, how should women handle men's vulnerability? On no account should you use your man's vulnerable moments against him. Never do that. If you do that, he will never tell you anything again. And even if he does tell you, he won't tell you the things that matters again. And trust me, it's a general thing though. So if you think it's a lie, okay, it's when you learn by experience, you will understand what I just said. Never use a man's vulnerable moments to attack him. Maybe when you guys are having issues, like, hey, it's not kiniko, and then he looks at you. He might not say anything at that time, but he looks at you and like, oh, okay, all right, no problem. And then he just moves on. And men, Jesus, a man can have a billion things in his heart, and then you are still putting more on him, and you're like, okay, cool. I mean, let's go. And should men be vulnerable? Yes, men should be vulnerable. I think aside my aside myself, the next person I'm vulnerable to most is my babe. So men can be vulnerable. Yes, men can cry. Men can
Men
and
should cry in relation.
men should cry. Because if a man cries, it means a lot.
Men should cry. I'm saying it again. You mean the man should cry?
See, the thing is,
Because society we are living in. Because, for example, if your guy, say like you cried in front of your woman, like they won't say in front of your babe. They say in front of a woman you cried, as in Baba you cried. No, if you cry in front of your guys, it's different. Of course, you would understand. But like, say you cried, but like the society will deem it like you're a weakling.
now the thing is, I've never cried in front of a man before. I don't think any man can say he has seen me cry. Maybe when I lost my mom, that's when I can say, okay, maybe my brother saw me cry, my sisters saw me cry. Yeah, that was, and my friends saw me cry. But then, personally, to my babe, there are sometimes that some things happens to me and then I cry. Maybe because of what we are talking about. And there are days that there's a movie she forced me to watch together with her. When Life Gives You Tangerine, that's the name of the movie. We've not finished it. But that movie, I tried so hard not to cry. Because at first, when we started out that movie, from the first episode, I thought I was not watching it again. And then she was like, when is your own turn? You say we should watch film, I'll watch with you. Now, I brought the movie and you're like, I'm not watching it again. After weeks and weeks of talking back and forth, I said, okay, let's watch it. First episode, come and see tears. She was crying. I was like, Jesus. But it was emotional, so I cried. So she will now look at me and laugh. She said, he didn't cry. She said, both of us, we are clowns. I said, yes. You cried every episode. So I feel vulnerable. Being vulnerable or vulnerability is something that the closest person to you should not be alien of. Meaning that it should not be something new to the person. And the person should also know how to handle it. Not that, you started crying again. What's all this? Are you a child? No. Don't tell it. See, for a man to cry, I'm not talking about crying baby, the any month you don't cry, but I'm talking those moments that you cry. A woman should see it as a point of not even saying anything. There are times that you should not even say anything. When your man is crying, don't say, why are you not crying now? It's not that deep. It's not that deep. For a man to cry, see, for him to cry is the deepest thing already. So telling him it's not that deep, it will dry his tears and you will never see it again. And for you not see, a man that you see his tears is a man that you know his heart.
Deep.
Oh my God.
Deep.
See, if you see his tears, you know his heart. There is no strong man anywhere. Yes. You know his heart. And Jesus showed us a perfect example. A perfect one. Lazarus died. You see, men are not crying because they don't have it under control. It is because of the fact that they are opened. Their heart is laid bare before you, and it's just a bit of what is going on inside of them that is making them come out without tears. So that tears is not as a result of I'm just I'm going to die, or I don't have it under control. I mean, for men. I'm not talking for boys. I'm talking for men. So for him to cry does not mean he doesn't know what to do, but he's crying because it's overwhelming. And all you need to do at that point is move close to him and just pat him in the back. And now look for the most, say it in whatever English, whatever language you want to say, whether it's French, Spanish, whatever language you want to use to communicate that reassurance. And let him know it's okay. Let him know you have his back. Let him know whatever it is, whatever it may be, you are not leaving, you are there for him. He's the best person in the world. See, when you say these things, my God, I'm right now, I'm bowing my head. When you say these things,
Okay.
it would not just own a greater place in his heart. You don't know that for men, love is not just I love you, I love you. Oh God. You don't know that for men, love is beyond emotions. Men are not emotional beings now. A man. Oh God. Men are not like that. But if a man loves you, trust me, he loves you. If a man truly loves you. And how would you, okay, this is a question I want to answer that you didn't ask me. See, how you know a man loves you is not by him buying you gifts. Far from it. A man that wants to have his way with you will buy you gifts.
Yeah.
Gift is the least thing. Oh my God. See, when a man loves you, he's there.
See, you may need to
Be explicit, Abi.
why? Because I realized that see,
Oh.
women I don't want to use what they can be very terrible. Because you can be there for somebody. I've seen it play out. Like even me, I saw this happen with a friend of mine. This guy was literally there. The gifts were there, the attention were there. At first I was like, okay. And when she told me they've broken up, I was like, you say what? Because even me, I was shocked. The guy was the guy. Yeah. So I was, if you get,
See, now the thing is, what I mean is there. See, men, this creature called man, angels even went to meet God and asked him, what is man? That thou art mindful of him. The son of man that thou visitest him. Thou hast made him a little bit lower than the angels. Thou hast, anointed him with glory and honor, and thou hast, a lot of things that makes up the person man. Man. Oh God. Okay. See, a man being there is, when I say a man is there, like you said, it can be there and yet a lot of things is going on. The truth is, a man can be there for his wife and still have a side chick outside.
exactly.
And the truth is, both of them will receive the same amount of affection, the same amount of love, and one will not have a feeling that he doesn't love. Man will think he loves her more than the wife at all. We think there is no other chick outside. The chick outside will think he does not love his wife at all. But the truth is, that man has figured out how he is going to balance the two equations, because women, they are ruled by their emotions, and a man that knows how to play with that emotions, know how to especially when you understand the kind of woman he's with and he knows the right button to press, oh my God, the woman will be there.
So how can we not? Yes.
Now let me now explain what I mean by be there, because my own be there is different from that be there.
Okay.
See, how you know that a man loves you? Okay, you are in a relationship with a man, and I want every woman to listen to this. Men are different, and I'm not talking about boys. I'm not talking about being in a relationship with a boy. I'm talking about being in a relationship with a man that is accountable, a man that has an oversight over his life, a man that is spiritual. These conversations is not for unbeliever, is it?
No, of course not. But
we are trying to capture the whole thing. So now it's not for somebody that is in a relationship, that your relationship is not what's the word now? It's not for unbelievers. When I say unbelievers, I'm not, I quoted some scriptures, and these conversations are not for people that don't understand the scriptures I've been quoting. So if you don't understand scriptures, or you don't read scriptures, or you've not even heard what I've said, probably it might not be for you, or what I'm saying now might not be for you, or might not apply to you. Now, the reason why I said that is because when I say being there, and especially for men and women that are in a relationship, a man that loves a woman wants to be there. He wants to be visible in her life. He wants our sisters to know him. He wants our friends to know him. He wants our mom to approve of him. He wants to meet our dad. He's open about his business. He's open about his purpose. He's open about where he's going to in the next 2 years. He tells her things that will happen tomorrow, today. He tells her things that would happen in the next 4 hours, 2 hours before. See, when you see these signs, see, there's a way to look at it. Yes, all these things put together, if you look at it, it is something that many men do not do. There are men that don't care if they don't even want your friends to know about them. Yes, they don't even want your mother that, please, let's just keep it private. I like private relationship. I beg, let's just hold it together. Let me see your phone. Why would you want to see my phone? I mean, you're not even talking. He's open about his vision. He's open about his ministry. He's open about, okay, this is what God told me 2004 November 3. And what do you think about it? He's trying to let you understand his purpose and his vision for his life. And the reason why he's that open to you is so that he can engraft you in. A man that does not want a woman in his life does not love her. A man that does not want a woman in his business does not love her. It might look like love if he's keeping everything from you, but he's showering you with gifts. When you need him, it's like, okay, and give me 3 hours, I will be there. And he's there. Now, see, it can look as though he loves you, but the truth is he doesn't. Yes, a part of him might love you. That this girl fine, and I like her.
Love or want or lost.
Or want you or lost after you and all that, and he's looking for something. But the truth is, the one he will truly marry, all these things I've said, he will put her into it. The thing she did not ask him, he will tell her. You see, for many people, I'm saying this on a 70% men perspective. For 30%, this might not be the case actually, because everything is still subjective, and it's something that we still need to look intricately with the Word of God. And what is the Word of God saying about love? What is the Word of God saying in the Scripture? How do people what was the highest form of love? The highest form of love is John 3:16. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. So when I say being there, is even when you are not giving him 100%, he's giving you 100%. You know, there are women that don't give you 100% and you love them, but you giving 100% will bring them out of their shell to give you 100, 200%. There are relationships that started out the guy loving the girl more than the girl loves the guy, and in few years the girl loves the guy more than the. See, you can measure love. There are relationships now, husband and wife, that cannot give each other their kidney. They will tell, no, I can't give him my kidney. But there are relationships that the husband will say, no, take my kidney, and but you will die. Yes, let her live and take care of the children. And the woman will wake up and be like, where's my baby? The first thing she will say will not be the children. It will be, where's my husband? And then they're like, and she would never forgive herself. But there are relationships, man and woman, that small storm of life, they'll say, I can't cope again. And this is the reason why there are divorces at high rate, because men and women that were not open to each other, they didn't see each other's hearts, married each other. And both of them, after 2 months, they discovered that this guy is safe. Even when she did the worst of worst, you still see the good in her. It's not about endurance. It's about seeing her as the other part of yourself. Once you come to that point whereby you don't see her as a family, or as a surname, or as take for example Mary Jo or Mary Doe or whatever name it is that she's bearing, once you start seeing her as an extension of yourself, you are coming to that place of what? Of love. You are coming to that place. You have come to that place of unity. You have come into that place of synchronizing, becoming one. That is, see, becoming one is beyond sex. Sincerely, yes, sex is spiritual. A part of yourself is coming into the other person. Yes, and that one. But the real becoming one is a man shall live his father and his mother. Listen, in our generation, it is the woman that is leaving the father and the mother and coming to the man's house, but the real perspective of love is a man is leaving his father and his mother. Why did they say father and his mother? Because that is the one person that loves him the most. Nobody loves you more than your father and your mother. Your mother, your father, they are the people that will say, that's my child, that's my son. Your brothers and your sisters can even deny you, but a father and a mother, you can be a prodigal son, but you are still a son. You are just prodigal, but you are still a what? A son. Do you understand that? Now, a man leaving his father and his mother, the two primary people, the two people that brought him into this world, and cleaving unto who? Cleaving unto his what? His wife. Do you know what cleaving means? It means sticking unto his wife. Because of time, Kelvin, because of time. So please, the Lord will help us. To everybody listening, thank you very much for having me. I mean, there's a lot to say. We can use 5 hours on this, and then it gets more and more and more deep. So thank you very much. The Lord help us, and God bless you all.
Okay, that was beautiful, in all honesty. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you for doing this with me. First of all, thank you, and thank you. I don't know what to say again, but yeah, I'm sure you guys have learned one or two things. I'm sure you like this is by far the most interactive session I've had. Actually, the only interactive section. So I meant by far come on. So I just received a notification from my laptop now that the battery is low. So that's why I just quickly had to round up the way it did. See you guys next week, and oh my god, this is beautiful, and this honestly, I don't know what to say. Well, thank you guys for tapping in again, and see you guys next week. The next episode I'll be discussing women approach to love. Thank you, and until then, make sure you enjoy the fatherhood of God. And yeah, I love you guys. Take care.